Happiness is more important than anything. Everyone is too focused on social media, Instagram. So-and-so bought the new car, but having everything brand new don't necessarily mean you're happy.
Social expectations within your home.
Yeah.
Like, that is one of the biggest factors of academic achievement. What is, so that maybe ties into what you're saying about what's the message that a lot of the young people are receiving? Because one of the things, one of the messages, and I'm sure you guys can attest, because I'm of a Caribbean background.
Yeah.
You with me? What am I? I'm second gen. Get my parents.
Yeah.
I'm born here.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of my African, particularly West African brethren,
A lot of us are first gen.
one and two, you're going uni, innit? like,
you know, funny you say that because
there's no.
I tried not to go uni. So the first.
What are you talking about?
The first time, I was like, I'm taking a gap year. So I took a gap year. I was working. Like,
you're still living and you took a gap year?
Yeah, I took a gap year. I was working. I was paying bills anyway. So I was paying bills from 16. So I took a gap year. I was working. I had a girlfriend at the time. And when America came back, my mum, my aunt, and my girlfriend was St. Lucia, Jamaican. They were plotting on me going uni. So literally, as I'm away, like now, I was trying to get into school in America to play basketball. Yeah. And some dumb prep rule of being a certain age after a certain day.
Okay, yeah.
Like it was a few days anyway. So what's happened? I've come back and I was just like, yeah, forget all this, blah blah blah. So before coming back, my girl was like, oh yeah, I filled out uniforms for you.
Yeah.
Like your mum
signed it.
Blah, blah, blah. I said, you know what? Forget it. Yeah, let me go. I'll go uni and play ball and blah blah blah. So literally, that's how I went into uni at the first time. And I didn't take uni seriously, so I dropped out. Eventually, I went back on my own in 2014. I didn't tell no one. I went uni. I was going uni. Then when I finished uni, a year later, I told my mum, yeah, you know, I went back to uni and finished. And she was like, what? I said, yeah. I didn't want you lot to be on the phone doing bragging rights and this, that. And she's like, why did you keep that to yourself? Like, that's an achievement. I said, yeah, I don't need, not even only pressure. I don't need praise from people.
Okay.
Like, you know, like some people feed off praise. Like they need that boost to.
Most people.
They need it to function. Me, I don't really care for it. I'm just like, if you give me a little support, that's more than enough. You get what I'm saying? But if you're constantly trying to overly gas me, it's like, sometimes I think to myself, right, what's the agenda? You get what I'm saying? So, like, as a character growing up, me feeling like there's always a deeper agenda, I've kind of gone into a shell of, I don't need that to function. I'm very intrinsically motivated. So I hate when, like my family, if someone gets you're gonna go phone this person, then everyone you ain't heard from for the past 10 years start phoning you, congrats. I needed you in more important times. True. But you're only coming here when I'm at the top. That's where I always say, there's a quote I always say, right, everyone waits at the finish line to the winners. So when you're not winning, everyone's not around. You know what I mean? When things are hard, everyone's not around. But if you get like a new Benz now, the whole family, rah, nice car, da, 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 da. So I'm like, to me, those things are not as important as checking up on, let's say like, Manny's in the hospital.
No, there is balance.
You get what I'm saying? Are you alright?
There is balance.
Boom, 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 boom.
There is balance.
There needs to be more emphasis on those things than accolades.
Seem to have this idea of you don't need to go to uni. Like, you don't. There are other ways.
Yeah.
Coming here from North.
Yeah.
You with me?
Yeah.
I could have taken Tower Bridge.
Yeah.
I could have taken I'm trying to think, London Bridge. I could have got Lambeth. I could have got. There's lots of different ways.
Of routes, yeah.
But do you know the route that I took? Blackwall Tunnel.
Okay.
You with me? Because Blackwall Tunnel coming from north to south is probably going to be a certain time of day your best route. And in regards to our community, this conversation outside of not going to uni, this, that and the other, yeah, there are a percentage of people. But those people who don't go to uni, or those groups of don't go, what they have is industries that they can go into.
Yep.
Coming back to nepotism.
Yep.
People who will employ you without qualifications. You with me? Like, I know some white youths.
Scaffolders and all of that. They'll bring you on-job training.
Listen,
And they'll
which
be
on-job?
working.
My uncle owns a firm.
Yeah.
You with me? He owns a firm. He owns
Yeah.
roofers, scaffolders, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. One phone call and you're in.
Yeah.
Unless we've got institutions like that,
I used to see that when I used to play rugby.
And
So when I used to play rugby,
and the guys sponsor the team.
yeah, a lot of guys would be like, "Rah."
literally.
Yeah, once you get into those kind of systems, a lot of guys will be like, oh yeah, you got a job. No. All right, come, Monday, join us.
Monday morning,
Yeah.
be there at 9.
Yeah.
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 And that's
So-
from 16 years old, and then
By the time
you
you're
hit
24,
21,
25, you got your own firm.
You're
and
in the
yard
game.
deposit and everything there. Like, it's
So you see that 1, 2, 3, 4. We keep looking at other communities. I've got it patterned.
Yeah.
You with me? They've established very. I get confused. As I say, I'm a funny guy. You probably see it in the comments. Oh, who's this guy?
Yeah.
You with me?
Yeah.
But in regards to what produces the results for our community,
Yeah.
it's standard.
Yeah.
Brethren, go uni.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go uni.
Yeah.
Get your grades.
Yeah.
And you're probably gonna have to graft for a few years and shut your mouth.
I'll tell you
That
something.
is probably our best
even,
bet.
Even though I didn't use my degree,
this is
I'll tell you one
another
thing that
aspect to the
I'll tell
conversation.
you what I learned from uni. Discipline.
Thank you.
That's the key. Because
Thank
you know,
you.
like the light bulb moment clicked in the second year. Yeah. I was like, I hate it here. Yeah. But it taught me one thing. And what I learned from it was this. I was like, if I could be here from early morning to late evening doing all this work that I paid for to be here,
You got to be able to do it for yourself.
yeah, so when I leave, if I put the same amount of time on things I want to do, it's going to be easy for me to make money. Because I was like, it's going to be things I like to do, like training people, you know what I mean? My events and all of that. It's things I like to do, so it don't feel like a chore.
Yeah.
Me being in the library for like 5-6 hours completing a coursework, my brain was just, you know what I mean? My head would just be ticking and all that, and I'm thinking, why am I here? So once I've come out of that situation now, and then I'm doing the math in my head, I'm like, rah, a lot of times I was in uni, 70 hours in a week. I was like in my head, calculating, I'm like, if I just do about 40 hours and I'm making this as an average per hour weekly, I'm nice. So I'm like, when I leave uni, I'm never gonna complain about time again. And I'll tell you another thing, I'm naturally not a morning person, but now, especially after the pandemic and coming out of that, I got into a habit. I don't know how. I always wake up at 5:36.
Discipline.
Even on my days off, it's become, and the reason why that's become normal, it's like, for instance, like today we filmed this. I said to myself, if I could do most of my day before 12 o'clock, if I don't want to work after, I could chill, take a nap, get up, go out and do this with my brethren, go on a date if I wanted to. You know what I mean? I've got the rest of the day to myself, but I know that most of my targets I try to aim to hit before 12.
Midday, you're good.
You know what I mean? So like a lot of times when I train, like I would train all my clients in the morning, then I'll train myself between like 12 and 1, or I'll train my clients to like 1, between 1 and 3, and I'm like, rah, my day is done. Anything after that, evening clients, is a bonus. Everything
What you're talking about there is structure and discipline.
yeah.
Structure and discipline. Now, even if you're gonna go on to, there's this whole trend of entrepreneurship and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
I know people are entrepreneurs and business people and that. The core foundation they need is what you just spoke about.
Yeah.
Discipline.
100%.
Yeah.
Like the discipline it takes to be an entrepreneur.
You pay yourself.
Do you know, just to touch on that, the biggest part of this generation, which is kind of confusing a lot of people, and it's like ego bruising and whatever. A lot of people don't understand how to be a worker.
Yeah. To be a boss, you have to work. You have to work on the song
but
first to learn properly.
Not even going that far.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, you don't have to be an entrepreneur.
You don't. Yeah.
You don't have to own your own business.
No.
You can be a really good worker and be at the top of your game, but
Bro,
as a worker.
I know a lot of 9-to-5ers who make way more money
Yeah,
than
but
I could even think of right now. A lot of 9-to-5ers.
I'm not even gonna get into the
But
conversation.
a lot of people have this ego thing about
9 to 5.
I don't want to do 9 to
Yeah.
5. I say to them that, see, the problem with being self-employed and that, You see, when I'm sick, guess what?
No
money.
pay.
I still have to work.
No money.
This is it.
A lot of people don't get that.
This is
Like,
it.
there's been days over the past few years where I've been so run down where I want to phone all my clients and say, I can't do today. Then I have to think to myself, if I don't do today,
The knock-on effect
the
in your
knock-on
life.
effect of not doing today
For
and
me,
what it's going to cause.
me being able to come here,
Yeah.
cost me.
Yeah.
Because I had a morning session. I had to call one of my teachers.
Yeah.
Two of my teachers say, listen, I'm not going to be
Yeah.
available for that session. You guys are going to have to cover me.
Yeah.
You guys have to. now have to pay you guys X amount of hours.
Yeah.
You with me?
Yeah.
To do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody doesn't.
Yeah.
If you're not making it work, but nobody, and again, you're right. It's this kind of denigration of 9 to 5ers,
9 to 5.
of 9 to 5ers,
Bro.
hard workers, people built, people established. If you're not on, I heard somebody say, a woman, somebody
Yeah.
put this thing out. It's not about how much you earn; it's about your mindset. If you're on 50 grand, but you've got a mindset, like a growth mindset,
Yeah.
this, that, and the other. Listen, you might just be the guy who the most you earn
Yeah.
ever
Yeah.
is 45k,
Yeah. Yeah.
35k a year.
Yeah.
But you take care of your youth,
Yeah.
you establish your family, and you do what you can. You save, you invest where
People
you
don't
can.
understand it. The most important thing out of that is happiness. Happiness is more important than anything. Like, everyone is too
Mad.
focused on, back to what you said, social media, Instagram.
But you know
Everyone's
what?
too focused on, so and so went on 5 holidays in the year, so and so went on 6 holidays in the year, so and so bought a new car.
But people
having
won't-
everything brand new don't necessarily mean you're happy.
But people won't understand that
Yeah.
until they reach a level of just placid and calm and peace.
Yeah.
Like I experienced something in my life a few years ago where there was a transition and it was literally over 24 hours. But within that 24 hours, yeah, the peace that I felt, I'm saying I hadn't felt that peace within like 5 years.
Yeah.
And just to be at peace like that, I said to myself, this feeling here is priceless. And moving forward, it affects every decision
Everything.
I make.
Yeah.
Because if it's gonna, like, not to sound cliche, but if it's gonna cost me my peace, then yeah, I don't want it.
You're the fourth person I spoke to this week that keeps mentioning that. That's mentioned that word.
Bro, it's key.
Peace.
No, it's key. I'll tell you, like, one thing that pandemic affected for me was my habit of traveling. And everyone used to, remember before I was always traveling, everyone always used to wonder why. And I like spending a lot of time by myself. Like, I'll probably, like, compared to, like, let's say, like Gabriel. Gabriel, he talks a lot more. Me, a lot of times, everyone's just like, oh yeah, why does Gabriel talk too much? But there's a reason. Like, we need that balance. Because I don't speak as much, like, naturally. It's just, I'm more closed off, more to myself. So, in regards to peace, I found my peace from traveling. Like, I found years ago, like a long time ago, that was what brought me joy. That's what made me happy. And like, you know, when people are like, oh yeah, you're spending, I remember my mom, like, before, she'd always say, oh, you're spending loads of money and blah, 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 this, that. And I say to her, that, raw, everyone in life has a vice. Everyone does something that makes them happy. I say to her that traveling, when I go away, I come back and I'm working. Like, before the pandemic, I'll come back and I'm working like a nutcase and grinding, and I'll never feel tired. And the reason why was, I was always so happy of the experiences I've had. I was chasing that high again. I was like, you know what? I went to so like a month ago. Even yesterday, I put up a old post on my story. I shared on my old story, and it was like from 2018, and it was like, oh, April. It was like early April 2018. I was like, oh, this is my 4th holiday so far this year. More to come. I'm not gonna tell you where. And it was just like, it was just a norm for me. And everyone used to think, rah, why is he always away? And in my head, I was just like, you don't get, like, getting life experiences to me and meeting people from other places. It's a thing. Like, it proper humbles and educates you on the things you have in life that you overlook and think, right, it's not a big deal. Where you might meet someone. I remember, like, a little kid saying to me, like, in Mexico, like, yeah, she wishes, like, things were for her, like, for us. And I was like, when I had to deep it, I was like, I'm here sometimes saying, oh, I'm tired, this, that. But this little kid here will be outside the clubs in the night selling wristbands with her mum to survive. And in the morning, before we wake up and coming out the club, guess who I see? The little kid again. So them little things there, it just makes you think that, oh, no matter how hard you think things are going for you, there's 1,000,001 people that you don't know what they're going through. So like, even when people might look up to someone who's really wealthy and rich, I've got rich friends who are going through madnesses, but they're just dealing with it quietly because people have it in their head that
you must be fine, you've got lots of money,
but they don't realize this person is like one bad month away from.
I think it reminds me of something Mike Tyson said. Mike Tyson, I'm trying to remember where I watched it, and he said, like, how are you? He said, like, praise be to God, I'm good.
I saw this the other
He
day.
said, boy,
I
why?
know exactly what you're going to say.
Because I ain't got no money. Because I ain't got the man them around me no more.
It was, and Jamie Foxx.
It's Jamie Foxx, he's saying, I like, boy, I'm just at peace. Like, nobody had, there's a story of Mike Tyson giving away a Bentley. Like, we've all gone out for the night, and he's gone, hold the keys. You with me? And he's gone off. And the guy's brought the car back, and he said, why did I gave you the car? He was just giving, like, when it comes to money, flossing of like this generation or whatever, like no one did it like Mike. Mike was doing it, and he
was running through cash like it was
like
water.
it was a joke. And the man is saying, boy, and again, which is why I'm gonna come back to once you begin to educate yourself and you have knowledge, and then you begin to elevate that knowledge to knowledge of self. And you want to benefit those people in your community and benefit this, that, and the other. Because the greatest form is giving, you know. You see, once you reach a certain level, you want to be able to give, and you want to be able to share. You want to be able to share all that with people around.
Me and Wes, like, one of the main reasons why I started this channel, I was talking to him recently about starting merch. So basically, the whole point is, one, to grow, educate the younger ones, give them something more positive. Two, we've been talking about this from the jump about, so what I want to do long term is to grow to a point where I've got enough money where all I spend my time doing is doing philanthropy work, helping people. And the reason why that comes from my mother. That's how she was as a person. And basically I was saying to Wes that once the channel is able to make a certain amount of money and sustain itself, and I know that I'm making a decent amount of profit, I could use a lot of the profit to work on all these little things that I've always wanted to do, where I start pushing content of helping those who need help in our community, homeless, people like that. And the aim is to cause a domino effect where it becomes normal to help people. You get what I'm saying? So if sometimes when people are like, that person posting blah blah, I'm like, right, you don't realize that out of 100 people, 70 people might complain about the person posting that, but 30 people are now triggered by that, and it sets off a domino effect of them to go help others. So the aim is to grow to a certain point where this is self-sustainable, and I'm able to spend my free time just running around doing that, like between here and back home in Nigeria, where I know that a lot of people need that. Need that little entry.
No, man,
you know what I mean?
And bringing the whole thing together, and having a education platform as what More Education is. More, because I ain't even mentioned it. I realised I ain't said moreeducation.co. moreeducation.co.uk. More education.
Don't worry,
and again, please.
It's gonna come in the screen.
Come in the screen. Is once education is the foundation. Same thing you said. I started teaching 15 years ago. 15 years ago. So some of the children that I taught.
What got you into teaching?
What got me into teaching? Same thing you man were talking about earlier. I had a bad boy English teacher. Bad boy, God rest his soul, Mr. Henry. What? Man from Tottenham, no. If you went to Northumberland, went to Northumberland Park and this, that and the other.
MPK.
You would know the impact that this teacher had. So my educational experience wasn't the best. I got the reverse. So I got kicked out of primary school. I was,
Wow.
yeah. Anytime I say that, man's like, right, you must have
No, but this is my thing.
Who gets kicked out of primary school?
Brother, like,
No one does.
From the education provider, yeah?
Yeah.
How messed up do you have to be? Like, how deep is the agenda to say...
No, all right, let me context you. I didn't get, like, the headmaster that pulled my mum inside and was like, yo, this ain't working with my man, you know? Because my brother, my older brother, that he's the complete opposite. He was captain of a football team, think like head boy.
Okay.
I come in as the rough and tumble.
Man said the local Captain America.
Yeah, listen, lovely. Whereas me, I was rough and tumble.
Yeah.
I was on it. I was rambunctious. That was me as a kid. So it got to the stage where, because people I grew up with, they can't. They think it's hilarious when they look at me in this context, contextualizing myself, articulating,
Right.
Because I spent most of the time outside the headmaster's corridor. That was my desk.
Yeah.
You with me? No, that was my desk.
Mad.
Straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot to do with me.
Yeah.
My mum was on the thing, my parents, my dad was on the thing like, listen, send my man back to Jamaica. This is all long.
Yeah.
Had
Country boy.
boarding school lined up, send him back.
Yeah.
And then my mum was on the thing like, I'm the last one.
Yeah.
I'm a baby.
How many siblings?
So there are 2 by blood.
Yeah.
And then my mum was adopted 2, so it's 4 boys.
Yeah.
All together. So
Okay.
yeah, it's on top. You with me?
Yeah.
And my dad had 2 more later on. You know how yard man stay in it. Big up my dad.
Were they boys as well?
No, my younger brother and my baby sister.
Okay.
Yeah. Not that I have any favourites, but she's my favourite. Yeah, so
That's right.
Man said not that I have any favourites, but look at that slide dig. What if your brother sees this now? All your brothers.
whatever.
Well,
innit?
it is what it is.
It's on top, whatever.
Or if
innit?
they rush you.
If they rush me, whatever. My baby sister look after me. innit? So they found an independent. So this is where the idea independent black school is called John Loughborough. It was in Tottenham, North London. Yeah. And I went there. Now, in regards to academics, all right, the facilities were shocking. Yeah. However, it was the first time that I was made or knew that I was smart. Yeah. How are you gonna know you're smart? You spend most of your time outside the head teacher's corridor. You with me?
Just killing time for no reason.
All the same things you're talking about. I heard all those little microaggressions from teachers. I moved from that school. It wasn't working. I went to John Loughborough School. Again, the facilities weren't fantastic, but you had teachers who matched the traditional views and expectations that I had at home. So my expectations and my belief in myself began to elevate. At GCSE, we had a teacher called Mr. Henry, English teacher, and anybody who knows Mr. Henry will know the impact that he's had. So that is where I've reached now. So even he had a supplementary school. Okay. I'm now going to take that to another level. So we've got at moreeducation.co.uk, we have 60 students. We're almost reaching capacity. But as of September, double up. We're doubling up. We're doubling up because at the end of the day, what we can do is if you give us early, you give us your children. So if you give them from year 7, they definitely get the grades in year 11. The problem is with us, they tend to give in year 11 and tell us to work miracles. You with me? Give me your child year 9. You with me? Not only will we get them the grade, they'll get the mentoring. We're incorporating things like work experience in the city. So when your child leaves, they're primed for university.
A lot of people don't even understand. You see, like where you said the work experience in the city, sometimes where you end up a work experience could help you
big time
get a job.
I did work experience at the end of my road in the estate agents. But I tell you what though, saying that I can sell anything to anyone.
There you go. You learn about sales. You'll never starve. Moreeducation.co.uk. The UK's leading black-owned tuition service. Check us out on Instagram at more, that's 2 O's, that's my name, Moore, education01 for content in regards to educating your children, tips. Sign up if you'd like a consultation. Go to our website, www.moreeducation, that's 2 O's, moore.co.uk. It's been amazing being on the podcast. I'm now knowing have I got to do this competition?
Yeah. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, Siggy. Come on. 5.
Let's go.
6, 7. Come on. 8. Come on. 2 more.
Easy
9.
work. Easy
Come on.
work.
One more.
Like.
Yeah. Remember I said to you, they will say, right, big man.
Yeah, man. Education and weights. Yeah, education and weights.
They would have said, big man, you can't out-rep them, man. New record, 40. Boom. I hope you enjoyed this one. The shirts, they're out. If you're trying to support the channel, please hit me up, buy a shirt. I use that to generate more content. We got like a couple ideas that me and Wes have been working on. And yeah, the more support I get on this with the merch, I'm going to use that to fund those ideas. And you lot are going to like what's coming on the channel. Thank you.
GCSE exams are just around the corner. Does your child need that final boost before their GCSE exams to get the grades they need? Join our Easter revision classes in Maths and English, where our expert tutors will prepare your child for exam success. During our sessions, your child will learn time management skills, key exam techniques, and question strategy. For more information on how to book, visit our website at moreeducation.co.uk.